Hi guys, do you recognize the place? It's one of the official champagne hiking places. And this is Champagne Friday. And it's very special because it's one of the few times when we come to one of the official places. And it's a neighboring country of Finland. And I'm here making something which is so extraordinary. One of my best wine friends in the world, Pekka Nuikki, is turning 60. You heard me, 60. It's not what you expect. But we're here on this beautiful estate in a perfect day, with a perfect temperature, the most clean Finnish air, but with an almost exotic temperature. Haikko Manor. I got some very strong links because my first wife's parents were married here and they are Finnish. My grandmother was born in Borgo, which is the small city next to this. And I felt very much at home the first time I came. But this time, it's the champagne hiking place and it's a celebration of Pekka Nuikki. And of course, who is joining him? Some of the best tasters in the world. And the leading guy is Juha, the best sommelier of Finland and the only one really getting up on the highest level. And we decided to make champagne hiking and Champagne Friday here. And he wanted to make a little bit of an interview. And I will say before he starts the interview, I'm just into the tasting part and I will have a celebration, just a party after this because I've been so focused. I've been tasting so many red wines. I guess around 100 superb red wines and then around 30 champagnes, sitting on the podium, guessing directly, having champagnes decanted, slightly more tricky, but I didn't make a fool of myself anyway. So I'm content by this professional part. But now we're into the enjoyment. But the last part before the party is the serious questions that we pick right now, at this moment where we are.
So Richard, you've come a long way in the world of champagnes. When was it exactly when you realized that you have to, this is your calling for champagnes? When was it? What year?
It was my calling just by interest in 1986, ages ago, when I fell in love with the district when I came to Champagne the first time. There are so many things connected to that, but when I understood that I'm going to work with it was more a combination of understanding that you can't work your entire life with something which is almost the same all the time, which was the case as a sports teacher. I liked the summer breaks, I liked the kids, I liked the sports part, but I was dreaming about champagne because I tasted champagne every weekend and I'm still doing, and today I can do it as a professional. So I think that was probably the moment when I understood that I'm going to change careers.
What about then? Back in then, world was very different regarding in the world of champagne as well, as everywhere. What do you think has been the biggest change in the world of champagnes during your long professional life?
It's quite obvious. It's the change of growers just being suppliers to the big houses, becoming their individual people, persons, architects, artists even, to create the super wine from a single plot from their own village instead of selling it to the blends of the big houses. That's for sure the most important part, and I've been a very big part of it myself, since most people didn't realize or didn't even think that grower champagnes could be good. But if you come back to the tasting we just had over here, we only had great Cuvée Prestige champagnes from the biggest houses with the most majestic, aristocratic blends you can think about. And this style that we just had, which is for me, if I'm going to choose one style today that I want to drink more of, it is from the big brands' best stuff. But if I go to the small growers, they can be very close to a fraction of the price. And if you go to the non-vintage section where the big houses really earn their money, skip those. Drink the grower champagnes instead for the same price.
So, what have you? Is there something what has inspired you the most regarding those, let's say, newcomers in champagne business?
The newcomers. One part of what I found when I had this really privilege of traveling around Champagne and searching for gems of high quality was probably that I made my search for perfection in the Grand Cru villages. And I found differences in terroir which were so obvious. Not the entire terroir of Cremant compared to Avis, because there could be parts of the villages which are more similar to the other one and things like that. But that's next step. But when I started to do that, no one did it. And I understood that it could be the same differences as for Romanée Saint-Vivant, La Tâche, Romanée Conti, or even neighboring villages in Burgundy like Musigny and Chambertin, etc. And everybody knew about that. But in Champagne, that was something completely different. And the terroir style I found through the producers who didn't use any wood at all, who made stainless steel, plain, clean, terroir-driven champagnes. So that's one part. But the second part is one producer, Anselme Selos, who did hugely oak fermented, hugely open to air, oxidated, some people say. I would never put that word in my mouth when it comes to his wines, because they are so fresh, they are so astringent within their richness. But it's Anselme Selos, and those two paths that you can choose from, terroir-driven cleanness or vinification-driven grower champagnes, ecological, biodynamical, that's not the thing. The thing is aiming for perfection and trying to do the best. And you can do it by vinification or terroir-driven or combination. And there are so many today who does that. And it's so surprising that even in low-quality villages, some good, very great producers makes very good wines. But still, perfection is only done with the greatest winemakers in the best Grand Cru villages.
So, Richard, name a few of those names you just described from the Champagne, the growers you are looking forward to have.
Well, it's rather simple, actually. There are a lot of them that I haven't found myself, and many of them I just realized how great they are or will become. But let's make it a cliffhanger. Champagne Club. In Champagne Club, you will find all of them, and you make your own examination. You can go by the points, the ratings, or you can go by terroir, or you could go by style. But most of all, you should taste them all by yourself and find your own path.